what we're not showing here are the clips of the awful defense. That being said, he's so good offensively while being surrounded by absolutely nothing that I can't hold it against him that they only have 11 wins. If you want to knock his game, you can find ways to do that. But if your argument against him being an all-star is what the team's record is, tell me more about the team then.
And if the other argument is he plays awful defense, it's the all-star game. I welcome the worst possible defense you want to bring.
Every game, the all-star game, to trade a barge. Coming up next, will Kobe and Dwight Howard ever squash their beef?
Something really special.
5 years ago today, Klay Thompson put up 37 points in the third quarter against Sacramento.
His ability to get into a zone. Like, I know we think that momentum and all that is fake, and it is, but this dude, when he gets going, it feels like he has cosmic powers.
Kings have that effect on people.
By the way,
I feel like you put me out there right now, I think I'm an alien.
Fair enough. We're both reading, by the way, Ethan Strauss's forthcoming book, The Victory Machine.
I already read it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm reading it. And Kevin Durant talks about how much he resented Klay Thompson because Klay got away with all that stuff. His ability to do that kind of explains how he did.
Meanwhile, Kevin Durant's like, I'm the second best player in the league.
Also that.
Quote, Amalu routinely exaggerates his accomplishments and dramatically overstates the known risks of CTE in contact sports, fueling misconceptions about the disease. Wrote Will Hobson of the Washington Post about Bennett Amalu, known to many as the public face of CTE research. Pablo, what do you make of Amalu in the wake of this story?
So I have many questions and doubts about this man now, and we have rightfully accused the NFL of minimizing and ignoring CTE as a problem, right? For profit. Bennett Amalu has seemingly, allegedly done the opposite for profit. He has claimed to be the guy who discovered CTE, the guy who claimed that he invented the name CTE. None of those things seem to be true. And he also says that 100% of football players have this thing. All of that, based on the scientists elsewhere quoted in the piece, kind of feels like that's too much, too.
Yeah, we got some problems, though, in evaluating what to do with this Post piece. One of them is the understanding that haters exist in every walk of life. And this dude is at the front of his profession. Therefore, you know, logically speaking, there are going to be people underneath who have problems with what it is that he's done. However, there have been loud critics for a while now who have said that we are doing this CTE thing wrong, that the things they've come up with are not nearly as conclusive as we have been led to believe. And most of us are lay people who are not in a position to evaluate and scrutinize what is being presented before us. So somebody tells us that Amalu's to be listened to, we're going to listen to him. The Washington Post writes a story and says, don't listen to him. Now all of a sudden we're going to say, we don't want to listen to him. The truth for me as it relates to football is the particulars of CTE don't matter. I got eyes. I see what this game is. It looks like it's going to be long run harmful. It doesn't really matter that much what name you attach to it.
Yeah, the bottom line for how should we all think about CTE and football and head trauma? Well, head trauma is still very bad. Head trauma is a thing you want to avoid at all costs. But by focusing so much on CTE, there is the concern that you run like a risk of ignoring the other stuff, right? Mental illness,
right, but
dementia, addiction.
How about this? It's not just CTE. It's not just head trauma. It's all the trauma. Like, pain is pain. Like, it's easy for us to just put it on head stuff because then we feel better because we can localize it, knowing damn well you can't localize it.
There is a lot more. Next quote. Minnesota Lynx star Maya Moore has decided to skip another WNBA season to focus on her effort to free a man she believes was wrongfully convicted. Tweeted the New York Times. So, Bomani, what do you make of her decision?
If that is what she wants to do, I wish her the best. This will be the second consecutive season that she has not played in the WNBA, and it is her life. And I am interested in the idea that she has been so impassioned, apparently, by this cause that she has decided that this is the thing that she wants to do. And so I hope it works out for her.
Yeah, it's a crazy story because Maya Moore was just somebody that Kobe Bryant mentioned this week as someone who could play in the NBA. Now, that's its own debate. But the point is, she is kind of as close to Jerry West or Michael Jordan in this sport as there has been. That's the level of respect. And so she is 30 years old now, in the prime of her career, and the fact that she decides to go and help the cause of Jonathan Irons, a guy who was convicted, imprisoned for burglary and assault with a gun, allegedly, that to me is a sacrifice that is just rare by any metric.
Yeah, and that is the key part of this, and I think is important, is that everybody's got their own lives to live. And if there's something that I would applaud her for on this one is to be healthy enough to look at this thing where you're the best person in the world and be like, yeah, I'll be all right without it, or it'll be there when I get back. Like, that for me is a crucial thing that a lot of people just don't have, man. A lot of us can't walk away from something when it comes to a matter that's like directly related to people who we know and who are important to us in this way. This has been a very big thing for her, and she's gonna put her weight behind it. Quote, my son is in the 9th grade, man. Say LeBron James when asked if he would consider playing for the Knicks if they drafted his son Bronny. Let's listen.
If your son gets drafted by the Knicks one day, will you consider playing with him here?
Man, my son in the 9th grade, man. I'm trying to worry about what project you got to turn in tomorrow. That's what we worried about right now, and that's what's most important: school, home, and being the best big brother he can be. So.
Pablo, is that a fair question to ask LeBron?
It is a fair question because the genesis of the question was LeBron James saying, as he always does, that he loves to play in no place more than Madison Square Garden. And so what does that mean? It means you're giving hypothetical drops of water to the desiccated throats of all of us New Yorkers. Desiccated? Dried out, man. It is the Sahara. We have no hope except LeBron James keeps on coming through and saying, you know what? I really love this building. And so what do we have left? Well, what if we took your son? Would that help, Mr. James? And then he laughs in our face.
I mean, why would he not love playing in Madison Square Garden? He averaged 75 points a game there. That should be everybody's favorite building to play in. You get to play against the Knicks. I bet it ain't nowhere near as much fun playing against Madison Square Garden if you're playing there if you got to play for the Knicks. And you're right. What the tacit acknowledgement from the reporter is, the only way you'd ever come play here is if your son was here. Maybe that would be it. He didn't laugh in your face. He tabled the question. Like you say the dude teases you and taunts you. He actually brushed the question off. Taunting you would be like that time he showed up in the Cavs jersey in Knicks colors with his shoes in Knicks colors and destroyed y'all the year before free agency and never thought about coming.
That's why I'm no longer a Knicks fan.
They also traded Jeremy Lin or didn't sign him.
I never forgive him for that either. 2012. It's when Dwight Howard and Kobe Bryant were teammates, and now Dwight is lobbying for Kobe to help him in the dunk contest. So, Bo, would you like to see Kobe and Dwight squash this beef?
I don't really care per se on this one, but I feel very confident that Kobe Bryant is not showing up to throw Dwight Howard no damn oops. He is not here to be a prop for the Dwight Howard reclamation tour. As little as I care about squashing that beef, guess who cares less? Kobe.
Because Kobe doesn't even consider it a beef. Kobe sees himself as above Dwight Howard. This is a one-way street in which Kobe calls him soft and Kobe thinks he's less of a man. And Dwight Howard is sitting there like, Kobe, you know what? After much reflection, you are right. Please come help me. And Kobe's going to be like, no, I'm not. And then guess what? Dwight, you're alone again.
Highly questionable coming up next. He's on it.